Welcome back. You're still watching JK Live, and it's time to have that deeper conversation with the former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, who is staying with us. Seeing some of your questions that are coming in, I'll be posing them to the former Vice President for some responses. But let's begin on the question, because we've been seeing you in the arrangement called United Opposition. What is that? Well,
United Opposition is a meeting of minds of leaders who have determined through their own political parties and even some individually to be part of the change that this country needs. People, men and women, who believe that one term is a reality. It's a condition that has to happen if our country is going to recover. So this is what we are. Basically saying, there are those who probably used to think unless maybe Raila Odinga is in the opposition, nothing happened. But I can tell you, as United Opposition, we've been able to call out this administration. And where they don't hear, we go to court.
Right.
Where we tell them, for example, it is wrong to arrest young Kenyans and charge them under Prevention of Terrorism Act when they are just young Kenyans demonstrating in Kiambu, in Nairobi. And you take them to the, by the way, the anti-terrorism court is next to committee maximum prison, so that you can instill maximum fear in them. We call out this government, this administration, and I can tell you, their days, according to the United Opposition, are truly numbered, and we do not mean ill for William Ruto or anybody. All we are saying, the country has been mismanaged. You have shown extreme arrogance, ability to mismanage. You preside over cartels that are stealing from your own people. You overtax your own people and then get people to steal from them. We are calling out this government. So these are people who are determined. Of course, you know them. My sister, Mother Karua, she has her own delegates congress this Friday. We have our friends in Jubilee. They're having their own delegates congress. We, of course, have Eugene Wamalo and DAP Kenya. You have Rigiji himself and listening to the ground, listening to the ground and calling a spade, the truthful man. Kenyans have come to appreciate who Rigiji is. And of course, our brother JB Muturi, whom we anointed, actually appointed as the chair of the People's Restorative Justice Commission, to be able to look at what actually happened to our country, the killings, the abductions, all the illegalities taken together. And even as we speak some, do you know there are young Kenyans out on bond, charged under the Prevention of Terrorism Act? And on the other hand, you're hearing this government saying, well, we want to compensate you. Why don't you first of all begin with the blanket admission of liability?
Right.
That this government went overboard when they were handling the JNC revolt. I call it a revolution, which is actually ongoing. Do you realize these young Kenyans are very angry? They're very angry because they talked about lifestyle situations, people showing off their ill-gotten wealth, their own parents' taxes and whatever.
Right.
And nothing has happened. Advisors, so many advisors that they said you should cut them down. And whatever demand they came up with, I don't think there's any single demand that has been addressed. And then you only come up and say, we have set up a commission, a compensation committee headed by Professor Makau Mutua. I have some respect for Professor, but I think in this one, he's got it wrong. The wrong end of the stick. So because you want to sanitize an administration that has been cited locally, internationally, as an administration that has no regard for the rule of law, that has no regard for the welfare of his own citizens. So the United Opposition is here to liberate this country.
Now, just to note that the Makau Mutua team, the panel has been stopped for the moment by the courts. We'll wait to see the determination and whether they'll have the space to...
And I must congratulate
the terms of reference.
I must congratulate my president of the Law Society, because Faith Odhiambo, together with the Amnesty International representative Irungu, have said no, we will not participate in these deliberations until the matter is determined.
Okay. All right. Court. Back to the question of the united opposition. So what is the structure there? Who is your leader?
Well, we are all the same. Of course, one would wish that it can be first among equals. We are not into that stage yet. Right now, we are actually in the process of studying each other, gelling. You saw the other day, we had 1 or 2 days retreat, and getting to understand each other. We have, of course, teams working very hard behind us with our instructions. We hope to be able to come up with a new coalition name. As soon as that happens, we'll let the country know. But I can tell you one thing. We are so determined, and the country is so determined to get itself liberated, that any of us who will give mixed signals about the need to have a united opposition, because everybody knows when we remain united like this, William Ruto is absolutely one term. And as I said, no ill will meant. It's just a reality. It has happened in neighboring countries, like in Botswana. A friend of mine called Boko Ndumu had to get Masisi do only one term. By the way, his organization is Umbrella for Democratic Change. And that is my party's symbol, the umbrella. And, you know, it has happened now, of course, with Lazarus Chakwera, and I must congratulate him and the people of Malawi, even as we congratulate Peter Mutharika, the president-elect now, for showing maturity.
Right.
Lazarus Chakwera has actually come out and accepted that he has lost. And he actually called the event historic. He would be mourning and saying, what is all this? But he said, this is historic. He has accepted it. And I think those who know a bit about Lazarus Chakwera will know he actually grew up, had a lot of work in Buruburu and places. There's a lot of Kenyanness in him. And of course, people elsewhere, in Nigeria, they've had one term. My friend Goodluck Jonathan did only one term before Buhari took him out. And even before Nana was eventually, his vice president lost recently to Mahama. Mahama had himself had been defeated by Nana. So these things are there. But the important things like what happened in Botswana, the low productivity, you know, that country's economy depends on the minerals, particularly the diamonds, refined diamonds. When the prices went low and the economy became difficult, partly because of also the local political situation, very much like what was happening between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. When William Ruto didn't want to see Uhuru Kenyatta after he said, and you remember what he said? He would never want to see a deputy mistreated like he was mistreated under Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, what happened to him with Gachagua?
Yep. So
they say history repeats itself. But I was going to tell you something. The whole thing is economy stupid. As very famous American President Bill Clinton once said, it's the economy stupid. And so the high cost of living.
No. Before we get to that,
yes.
I'm still trying to understand the united opposition.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm asking this question is because do you have timelines? You're saying you're working, you're understanding each other, working on a coalition name. Do you have any timelines?
Well, you see, sometimes it's good to have it organic.
Yeah.
So people develop naturally, they trust each other naturally. If there are issues that you need to streamline, you do. Sometimes you can have a cup of coffee separately, say with Fred Matiang'i or with Gachagua. We're trying to do that kind of thing so that we are the same. And so, but I must make it clear that if I'm listening to the country, they're saying if any of us gives mixed signals about the unity of purpose, then this country will never forgive them.
Okay.
So this time around, we hope people will stay the course. Some of us have done that before, by the way. I've stayed the course.
Staying the course.
At tremendous cost.
Staying the course you may.
Yeah.
But Rigathi Gachagua has already said he is a front-runner candidate. Dr. Fred Matiang'i says he's going for the presidency. We haven't heard from you.
Oh, I think I made it very clear, very, very clear. The country is expecting that we will make William Ruto absolutely one term. If my colleagues give him the big honor to lead the team. So it is obvious. It's obvious. We have made it clear. By the way, Wiper Patriotic Front has rebranded. It used to be Wiper Democratic Movement. And in order to take into account the fighting spirit of our young Kenyans, we wanted now to change the name to Patriotic Front.
Yep.
And we will be having our Delegates Congress on the 10th of next month.
Yep.
I hope then, if I do not get any opposition, I hope that my candidature will be established by my own party before I talk to other colleagues.
But you as a person, are you going for the presidency or not?
Of course I am. I mean, honestly, this matter, Sam, what do you think?
No, it's not what
do you
I
think?
I mean,
it's obvious.
Your colleagues...
It is now, in my view, by the way, in my view, it is now or never. It's as simple as that. If I don't go for it now, I'll never go for it. But if I go for it now, and my colleagues give me the flagship, believe you me, I will not disappoint. Because we know this country, we know the game. We know who the opposition is. Kenyans should not get into that unfortunate belief that it is difficult to remove a sitting president. I've just demonstrated by a few examples how easy. Yeah. And if it was difficult for Chakwera to lose to Bingu Mutharika, can you imagine William Ruto, with all the atrocities this administration has committed? Kenyans cannot even wait for the 11th, I think, it will be, of August 2027. They wish it was next year.
What if, because Rigathi Gachagua said that he's a front runner.
Oh, yes.
He's so sure of getting the ticket. What if you're
Well, I don't know. You know, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay, because I can tell you, that's what democracy is. Yeah, let everybody come out. Yeah? But at the end of the day, I can tell you, it will be a negotiated position. We'll all negotiate, look at each other in the face. And I think the parameters will be established. For example, record of service, record if you have any scams or whatever, they will be brought out. If you have no scams, and people also stand up there and say yes. Because I believe personally that the kind of sacrifice we have made, even under Mzee Kibaki, when the country was burning, literally. And please, I must remind us that under Mzee Kibaki and myself, and later joined by Raila Odinga, the GDP growth of this country hit 7%. We were heading to double digit. Now, William Ruto's administration are priding themselves in saying, oh, the economy is grown by 5.5%, and they think that is reason to get re-elected. Please, my friend, look at this. A nation in crisis. A nation in crisis. We shouldn't be here 60 so many years after independence. So I look at this national transformation agenda of, this is from the executive office of the president. You simply have to, because they are now to justify 3 years of William Ruto's maladministration.
So then, still within that united opposition, because like you're saying, you're getting to understand one another. Yeah. What would you say is your relationship with the following? Dr. Fred Matiang'i at the moment.
Well, I was not in Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet when Matiang'i, I think, replaced Ruto, because Ruto became big-headed, okay, and Uhuru didn't know how to manage him, all right? He should have followed the example, perhaps, of what Ruto did, and I gave that example. So Fred Matiang'i was the de facto, deputy to Uhuru Kenyatta. I didn't interact with him much. So I'm getting to understand Fred Matiang'i, right? So I have interacted with Rigiji, and I can tell you that I've actually admired him. Yeah. I admire him seriously, because he has opened up to me when we meet. He opens up. His wife, Pastor Dorcas, and himself, you'll talk to them and you see these are people hurting. This is why Wiper Patriotic Front members of Parliament, when they were faced with this issue of demonization of Rigiji, the impeachment, I remember it was a member for Kitui Central who came up with the slogan, Kufa driver, Kufa Makanga. They said, if you're going to get rid of Rigiji, you, William Ruto, also out, so that we can have an opportunity as a country to elect other leaders who can work together.
Right.
And of course, subsequently, you have since had William Ruto say members of parliament are corrupt and he's going to get them arrested. I'm yet to hear one person, one MP, able, after William Ruto and that meeting at KCB, Karen, saying you're going to get arrested because you're all corrupt people. And we're going to get you arrested. I mean, this is really amazing. Chest thumping, pride. So for us, then, of course, you asked me about Gachagua.
Yes.
And
you have told me about Fred Matiang'i, about Rigathi Gachagua.
Yeah.
Martha Karua?
Mother, we are twins. If you talk to Mother, you say, my twin brother. We have come a long way. Remember, I had to literally bite the bullet and support Mother and Raila Odinga's ticket. Sometimes under great humiliation, but I went out. I was even taken through an interview. And remember, in 2013, I personally believe we defeated Jubilee ticket of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. In 2013, we went to the Supreme Court, all right? And we were told we are late in bringing some of the documents. I looked at Raila. He believed that we were going to get a second round. We lost, but I told him, we have lost, but we must be bound by the decision of the Supreme. I'm coming to that, Sam, because it's important, I think, for Kenyans to know where we have come from with Mother Karua, okay? And of course, in 2017, again, we ran, and in my view, we defeated the ticket of Jubilee. But Chief Justice Maraga and his team were able to say, hey, this one, not right. In 2022, it was expected that I was going to run. The understanding was clear between me and Raila Odinga that whether we won or lost in 2017, Raila Odinga was going to support my candidature in 2022. Instead of supporting my candidature, he went out, of course, to consulted with Uhuru Kenyatta and others, and they settled on Martha Karua after an interview, a very embarrassing interview. But we took it in his stride. I think leaders have to demonstrate sometimes resilience and patience, that even those who end up calling you names will get ashamed because they get called out. Now, can anybody today say Kalonzo Musyoka is indecisive, for example?
What would be the answer?
Of course, they now know who I am. The real Kalonzo Musyoka has come out. And this is it. And they're scared. They don't know how to handle him. It's too late. It's too late in the day.
Do you feel like
it has to, as of course the lawyers say, mundu komondo.
Do you feel like you're played in 2022?
Playing and betrayals and political things, those things happen. They happen to me. I'm not bitter.
Yep.
I'm not bitter at all.
What if that were to happen in 2027 with your colleagues?
If I get betrayed again, I will say I was betrayed. And I don't believe in betraying anybody. That is, for me, a basic thing. That is who I am. I like to hold my friends. I like to value them, see the good in the other person, build them up if you can. But I don't believe in doing dirty tricks. Maybe that's my weakness. I can't do dirty tricks. I believe that it is not what they say politics is a dirty game. No, we must sanitize it. Yep. In fact, if we are going to bequeath this country to the next generation, we have to set the example. That's why I'm so passionate about getting this thing right, getting this country back on its track, and then handing it over to the next generation.
Now, would you be a running mate in 2027? No,
I don't think so. Because, I'll tell you why. Some of my supporters, majority of them, that's why this administration is fixated with the dream that Kalonzo Musyoka will join Kenya Kwanza. Today they say it. I think that the bloggers are on full scale mandate to make it happen. But I tell them, please stop wasting your time. I just want to tell you, it is too late for any games to be played against me. And I know it and I feel it in my entire personality. I have sacrificed, but I can't sacrifice enough for this country. Okay, Sam, we have the higher ideal of getting this nation back on its feet. And if that be the case, I pray to God my colleagues will see it.
Now, of course, former Vice President, in 2021, 2022, you obviously were within One Kenya Alliance with that time you called them brothers, Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula.
Yeah, Madividi and Weta.
And we saw what happened.
Oh, Brother Weta.
We'll
Brother
talk about that.
I actually missed the guys.
We'll talk about that. And of
but
course,
I think they have just...
No, don't go there. We'll talk about that. And of
Yeah.
course, if such a development were to happen within the united opposition, we'll be talking about that and also what he thinks about the solutions to some of the challenges the country is facing at the moment. Stay tuned.